Now, next, Miss Merkel this week has seen the release of Angela Merkel's memoirs that she's chosen to call Freedom. It is characteristically blunt, unapologetic. She hits back at criticism. She says she mishandled a migration crisis, allowed the economy to stagnate, and that she misread the warring intent of Vladimir Putin. The alternatives would have been worse, she says in the book. Well, she heads off to America next week to promote her autobiography alongside former US President Barack Obama. Several newspapers write of Merkel-Mania. After 3 years of almost complete public silence, she's back, she's telling her story. Well, the New European newspaper describes people having, quote, Merkel withdrawal symptoms. And in that time, Angela Merkel's been present in a different form, thanks to the best-selling novels of David Safier, who's created the series Miss Merkel, which imagines that Angela, in retirement, becomes a sleuth alongside a trusty, if flatulent dog, Helmut. And it's a crime comedy that's been a huge success. It's been turned into a TV series in Germany. It's a hit in Italy as well. David joins us alongside the British historian and translator of German literature, Jamie Bulloch, who's just translated the books into English out this month as well. Hello, David. Hello, Jamie. Thank you both for being with us. And now, I think we can see you both. Before we talk to you, though, we're going to get a glimpse of the TV drama adapted from Miss Merkel. Let's see a quick glimpse of the TV programme, and then we'll come and chat to you.
Great. Thanks.
Merkel spielt Miss Merkel.
Miss Merkel.
Das ist völlig irre, die Frau.
Wer profitiert vom Tod des Herrn von Baubenwitz?
Ja, ich kann mir auch nicht vorstellen, dass sich einer wie er das Leben nimmt.
Ganz ruhig, Mann. Jemand wollte da ein Zeichen setzen.
Sie sollten aufhören mit Ihrem Detektivspiel. Frau Merkel?
It was worth the wait, both of you. I teased it, and it finally came. Now, David, let's start with you, because most people talk about this eureka moment when they come up with something that they just know will work. But yours was a Columbo moment, wasn't it? What you were watching the old detective series. Tell us the story.
Yes, it was like in the good old times of 2019. I sat down with my agent and we talked about the retirement of Angela Merkel, which was to come 2 years later. And we thought, okay, she will never go to Gazprom like her predecessor, Gerhard Schröder, and she won't stay in politics, but what will she do? And later on, I saw an episode of Inspector Columbo, and I thought, well, this will be great. She is like Inspector Columbo, always underestimated by famous and powerful men, and she's quite clever. And yeah, okay. And then the next step was to think, okay, she's like Miss Marple.
And talk us through, I explained a little bit, very brief detail of what you might see with her dog, Helmut, and tell us a little bit about her life, what she's doing. I believe she's gardening, isn't she, at first? And she's just bored with that life and decides... Tell us the avenue you decide to take her down.
Well, it's a cozy mystery. It's a funny, cozy mystery crime novel. She is going back to her homestead of the Uckermark in East Germany, where she came from. And she's living in a small village. Think of the crime villages in England. It's almost the same, but in East Germany. And she's staying there with her husband, and she is really bored after 16 years of being Chancelloress. She has got nothing to do, and she has a small dog, a pug. In the series, in the TV series, it's named Helmut. In the novels, it's named Putin. And well, she has walks her Putin dog, and that's it. And then suddenly there is a locked room mystery like in the Agatha Christie classic crime novels, and she is finally getting something to do, and she is very exciting. Another problem to solve after all those unsolved problems in her time. She can really solve the mystery and have a success.
Now, your latest instalment, David, is out this month, isn't it? And I'm right to say that
Yes.
this is what we see as Miss Merkel. She sees a therapist because she realises while
Yes.
writing her memoirs that she's neglected to solve a number of issues while she was in office.
Yes, that's the fun of Miss Merkel. I can give her all the thoughts people would like her to have.
It's
As you said,
serendipitous.
as you said, she is totally unapologetic. In my novels, she is thinking quite differently because she is Miss Merkel, my character I write, and she's really quite depressed. I don't know if you ever have been with German trains. They are always too late, and the infrastructure is too bad. And in Germany, people joke that if Vladimir Putin comes with his tanks, it's no problem because he cannot come over our bridges without falling down. And so she has her doubts, and after writing her autobiography in my newest novels, she's thinking, well, I cannot do anything to make it better. I made some mistakes and I cannot do anything better. As you see, it's quite different from the real Angela Merkel, my Miss Merkel. And she has the problem, after her first therapy session, the therapist is murdered and she has to solve another crime.
That's brilliant. I love it. Now, Jamie, just listening to David, and I mentioned Merkel-Mania trending on X, formerly Twitter, this week. Tell us about how it can expand. I mean, you've translated it into English. I'm told that there's a lot of German humour in there, and it clearly works enough to sell as a TV series and work in Italy. Tell us about translating it into English, and does that humour float?
Well, I have to say, when I first read the book a couple of years ago, I got funny looks on the train because I was sniggering, thinking this is really, really amusing. But David was very good. As a lot of authors often are, when you're translating humour, you have to make it work in language. And there are lots of things that might work really well in German, but aren't quite so good in English. What David said was basically do what you need to do to make it work. So what we've done, as far as I'm concerned, in this book, is to take some of the jokes and change them around a bit, put in a bit more Boris and David Cameron and Brexit jokes, and just try to sort of change it a bit more.
You've frozen on us. There's a cliffhanger you've left us on there, Jamie.
Yeah.
David, I anglicise your name, David. Have either of you met Angela Merkel? And if not, have you any idea of what she thinks of the books?
Yeah, I haven't met her. I always wanted to meet her and to say to her, well, we too write about the same topic. You choose a slightly different direction for your novel, for your book. But I know that, of course, she knows about the books, and in her surroundings, I know of former ministers in her cabinet that are reading the books and finding them quite lovely. And she told a common friend that she hadn't read the books, but she looks favorably on them, and her secretary loves them. So another friend of mine said, of course, if I would be her, I would say the secretary read it and not herself. Because imagine, if I write a novel about you, Gavin, and you are becoming the hero of a #1 bestseller series, at least you would read the first 5 pages.
At least. David, you're absolutely right. The other point, there's for the TV dramas we're watching in the background, we see a very well-known German actress playing
Yes.
the part. And am I right to say that she's played Miss Merkel, she played Angela Merkel throughout her life in various roles? They're from the same part of Germany, in fact, as well. And she'd refused more recently to say, I'm bored of doing it, but your books, televised, got her back involved again.
Yeah. I have the good fortune that in Germany, Katharina Thalbach is a very, very famous actress. She studied under Bertolt Brecht in the GDR in the theater, and later on she was in the Blechtrommel, which you may know. And she's a very, very famous actress, and she loves my novels. I have the good fortune that she loves my novels, and she loves them so much that she's going on tour reading my novels and filling theaters with it. So that's a good fortune. And we became friends. And it's, sometimes you get lucky.
I just wonder whether you've set off a new style of crime comedy now, and there's going to be other world leaders that people are getting on the back of and coming up with? What are you thinking? Have you got a second idea?
Do you really want to read a Boris Johnson as a hero? So this would be quite a different novel.
Jamie, could you see it?
That he is bungling things, and I guess. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. All Liz Truss bungling her way through a detective case. I'm not quite sure. I haven't got any other ideas. I know that somebody in Germany tried it with our. Almost Chancellor, because in a couple of months he won't be anymore, Olaf Scholz, but that novel wasn't a success, I guess. So,
he doesn't have a Scholz mania, does he, in the way that Angela Merkel does?
Well, he's a bit more boring, and he is probably he is the most unfavorable chancellor of all time when he leaves the office, and Angela Merkel left on a high note. She was by far the most popular politician in Germany when she left office.
Wonderful to talk to you both, Jamie and David, and best of luck with your continued success.
Thank you very much.
All the best.
Thank you very much. Good to be with you.